Iblaga psomi sa sitriemish jantish noba sit noba mazai hawa. Yeah, noba mazaya yiblan resh. Mird di adigabza course Welcome everybody. My name is John Tiamisha. Today is February. I can barely speak in English. Today is February 7th, and this is our course for beginners. You know, we should start off by saying to Yamiz, who's still connecting with audio. Let's wait till he joins. Yamiz.
Salam.
Hello.
So whoopso, Janti.
What did I just say? Do you know?
Something today is your birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's just happy birthday. I thought they just say Sinahuach.
Sinahuach means I salute you, I toast for you, I congratulate you.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So you can say that if you get a new job, Sinahuach. If you got married, if you got a new car, if something good happened to you, I congratulate you, I salute you, I toast to you. Okay.
I see.
So, but for your birthday, we say we, your,
we ma, and then
we So there's actually nothing new there. We've heard.
I heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've heard all those in this class, right? Where were you born? Happy birthday. It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful, no doubt. I think the song on that would be a little weird.
Right? There's the other one. Oscar would sing during dance practice that he taught us, and we would say, so something like that.
Yeah, we salute you. Yeah. It's probably just easier for them to put the words together.
Treating us like children.
Yeah, well, you know, that's like 4 syllables. So yeah. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Tamam?
Sorry, tamam.
Nakwa, let's just dive in. I was running late because I was kind of reformatting our slides here a little bit. I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit. So everybody come off mic. Everybody open up your mic. Let me share my screen. Do you guys all see? Hang on. Do you see my whole screen or just the slide?
Whole screen.
Oh, yeah. Your desktop.
Yeah. I have nothing to be embarrassed about with my desktop. So, but I want to make sure you guys can see more of the screen. Whole desktop or just the slides?
Just the window.
Just the slide.
All right, cool. Is it bigger or?
I just want to say for people on a small screen, if you make the window too big, then the text becomes too small.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I find because I share my screen a lot for work, I have a giant screen, so I always have to make the window small for my coworkers to see.
Is this adequate size for you guys?
That's good for me.
Okay.
Millions. Is that right?
Millions. This is big. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mir yinwa. Yinwa. Ahmed, what does it mean when I say yinwa? You remember, Ahmed? I can't hear you. What does it mean when we add itwa to the end of something, to the end of an adjective?
Ahmed, we can't hear you still. But it's like too
big, too much. Too big. So miryins, this is big. Mir yinwa. Is it too big? Is it too big, the screen?
Hawa
yinwa khonsta. Acha nakwa derapfij. Let's review. Derapfij. Let's look backwards. Derapfij. Mirsalas la dosa mirsalas. Acha dokwa. Salam yitzar osmansh.
Testing.
Şaler adigas. Şaler adigas, şaler adiga, dosa. Şaler mapsatla. Şaler psatla. Anta dawit şaler mapsatla. Şaler psatla. Şaler yijibstu mapsatla. Şaler yijibstu psatla. Şaler tok mapsatla. This one I'm going to skip. I'm going to remove this for now. Okay, get rid of that one. Get rid of this one too. Okay. So, and then we got to Shaler Tokmopsasha. Remember that? Shaler Tokmopsasha. The boy, he speaks a little, right? And we went through Sakwad Sopsashas, Tamamo Sopsasha, Homo Sopsasha, Apodu. We went through Apaterach, half-assed, sloppy, right? Then we got here. So this is where we're going to start. First of all, did I do the review too fast?
No.
No? Okay. So now we're here. Class.
Sit.
Sit.
Shalom Zagorjea.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Shalom Zagorjea. Sit Shalom Ji'ara. Sit Shalom Ji'ara. Okay, so I'm going to introduce a new phrase. This new phrase is Wiguchumcha. What do you think? Wiguchumcha. Wiguchumcha satanai. Wiguchumcha sit Shalom Ji'ara.
شعلم مأرسة يخوي.
Shaler ma'arisa chwesh. Okay, that's a possibility. Shaler ma'arisa chwesh. We know what's ma'arisa, right? George,
Sit Jansi.
we guchumcha sit shalem ji'ara.
Sit alam ji'ara. Sigurumcha, like in my opinion.
Mhm.
Okay. Abujea ar Safenu Huesh.
Arab satlanu chwesh. Okay.
Safenu Huesh.
Satanai ji'a. Shaler ma'arisa chwesh. Our George ji'ar. Shaler adigab. Shaler satlanu chwesh. Okay. Khunsh. Ahmed,
Sit Janti.
we guchumcha sit shalem ji'ara.
Si Gurumcha Shaler Warajia.
Shaler warad ji'a. Sit kwa the warad.
Warad Daha.
Waradaka. Waradaka sit kwa the sita biyitzar. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah.
Okay. Kunsta. Arashi. Yep. Waradaka ji'a. Shaler. George zarji'ar. Shaler. Psatlanu chwesh. Arash ji'ar. Satanai zarji'ar. Shaler ma'arsa chwesh. Inal. We guchumcha sit shalem ji'ara.
سيكوخمتشا شعلم بسس خوي جا
Sit ji'ara.
بس خويش جا
Okay. Shalem ji'ar. Psis chwesh. Psis chwesh. Okay. Khunsh. Did you have a job interview today, by the way?
No, I'm just tired.
Okay. No, you're wearing like a sports coat. Normally you're wearing
Oh.
like your Adiga t-shirt.
I have like 5 of those, but they're all in the laundry now.
Hola.
Sit.
We guchumcha sit shalem ji'ara.
سيقوغم شعلم لاجة خويقم.
La janu chweqem. Shaler shachina. Shachina. Is he lazy?
أنت.
Shaler shachinas we guchumcha.
أنت.
Shaler shachinas we guchumcha. Khunsta. Zanshawa.
Sit.
We guchumcha sit shalem ji'ara.
I have a question. So that first part, though, I forget if you asked what we think that meant, but I'm not sure if you said it. What does that first part of that question mean?
It means I think. So let me put this for you. Let me make this a little bit smaller.
So what do you think? Okay, I see.
Okay, so let me break this down for you. Whoops. Okay, so what does it mean?
Heart.
Heart. So gura means idea. It means idea. Okay. And then this it's just something we throw in there because of grammar. And then what does it mean when we add to the end of something?
By means of.
By means of. So when I say sasi guhumcha, it kind of means like by way of my thought, by way of my thought. Sasi guhumcha. And this is how we would say it. Like, I don't think like there's a verb that means to think, but we wouldn't. If we ask somebody, what do you think? We're asking them like, what are they thinking about? So this is how we would say, like, I think it's this, or in my opinion, it's this, right? So the verb doesn't really mean to think. That's a different verb. I'm just letting you know. But the meaning, the idea is, I think. Sasiguhumcha shaler mophodu yigupsisar. Sasiguhumcha shaler mophodu huish. I think the boy wants this thing. I think the boy is thinking that thing.
Okay.
So Zanshawa, what we guhumcha sit shalem ji'ara.
Sasigu gugumcha shalar jea. Would I say it that way?
Shalem
Shalom.
jea.
Sijadu suhwesh.
Ah,
My cat.
Sasiguhumcha shalem jea sajadu suhwesh. Sajadu suhwesh. Khunch. Yamiz.
Sit.
Sit shalem je'ara wa we guhumcha.
في غرمشة شعالم. If I want to say like sishchanu, wishchanu, how do I say he is hungry? Ar mishchanu?
No, but what you're saying is eat. So you're saying
Like,
he's.
oh, okay. So then I would. Yeah. Sorry. Sh'alam majasha jia.
Shaler mojasha.
Shaler majasha jia. Inta.
Sasiguhumcha shalem je'a sasumojasha. That's what he's saying. He's saying I'm hungry, right?
Yes. Oh yes. You're right. You're right.
Mojasha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Janté, c'est quoi?
Hey, dawa, what dawa shit?
Studies hours.
We Jerry Savannah was shara.
Yeah.
We go home to sit shalem jira.
So go home to Jaguasa Huish.
Jaguasa Huish.
Yeah.
Jaguasa. Sit what a Jaguasa where?
Oh boy. Top Huish.
Top Huish. He wants a ball. Margarita,
Janti
وداوشت.
tamamش bupso وداوشي.
Toksez الشاش. Toksez الشاش. أو خنوش. ويقومش ستش عالم جيرة.
Sesi gorumcha shalem j'ai à recevoir si
Guzavagosiash. Naqua de raplet ستش عالم جير. ستش عالم جير. أو يابشجا ستناي.
Da.
Arguaru qja'a. Tell me again. Arguaru qja'a. Sit we gurumcha shalam ji'ara.
Sesi gorumcha shalam jea sama arisa sechwish.
Sama arasa sechwish. Ahmed.
Sorry, sit Janti.
Sit we gurumcha. Satanai zraji'ar pej.
Si gorumcha satanaj ji'er pesh.
Pej. Hawa was a gwaran nawas was jupat.
Si gorumcha
Waraji anochwesh.
oh yeah, okay, yes, that's okay. Satanaj, okay. Si gorumcha shalar waraji ano wish.
We gurumcha shalam waraji anochwesh. Shalar waraji anochwesh. Pej. Satanai.
Da.
Ara we gugura. What we gugura shalam waraji anochwesh.
Hawa ar si gorum kum.
Araqum.
Araqum
Sasi
si
gurumcha.
gorumcha. Araqum sesi gorumcha.
Sit what we gurumcha.
I insist. Sesi gorumcha shalam ma'arisa yechwish.
Shalar ma'arisa chwesh. So hue, that's a different verb. So ar huesh. Ar huesh. Because in Circassian it's not transitive. You want something, right? It doesn't change the state of whatever it is you want. But shalam je'a, he can say something. He can say something to someone. So it's a transitive object. So when you see this, what you'll always see in Circassian, you can say ar verb, ar hues, shalar hues, right? Ar hues, shalar hues. Because if he wants something, I can't want something to you. It's not a transitive verb.
Okay.
But I can say something to you. I can say something. I can say a name, right? So when I say something, that makes it a transitive verb. So transitive verbs, they always take the ab. Intransitive verbs always take ar. And when we change that, those are the pronouns, ab or ar. And then when we swap the pronouns for actual nouns, anything that has ar will end in ar. So shalar, ar, hues, shalar, hues. But if we say he speaks, ab je'a, shalim je'a. Okay. Is that helpful or confusing to people? It's helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, because Satanai, I just see ice in your eyes right now. I don't know if you're trying to, like Medusa, trying to turn me to stone to stop me from talking or something.
I'm processing.
Okay. So, George.
Sit Janti.
Satanai zaraji'ar. Shalam جاء سمأرس السخويش ووي قوغمشا أربج
ستناي ستنايم جاء شعجر ست خويش
مأرس خويش
مأرسة خويش سسي قوغمجا أربج
أربجقم وجبات شعلر هوا ستشب هوا what did you say شعلر بسخن خويش شجرة أراشي أرغورو ووي قوغمجا ستناي زرجي أربج حمرا ووي قوغمجا ستش عالم جي أرى
مأرسة خويش
So I'm asking you if what you think is what Satanai said is correct, but because you said something different, remember? You said that you think the boy wants to talk. She says he wants Ahmed says he wants to sing. She says that he wants an apple. You says he wants to talk.
Okay, so I have to be consistent with my
You have to
own
be
opinion
consistent,
from before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What are you, some wishy-washy politician, huh? You go with the
how عجر مأرسة خويقم بسخن وخويش
بسخن وخويش. Okay, so put it all together for me. سسي قوغمجا
سسي قوغمجا أبي جاء مأرسة خويقم أو بسخن وخويش
بسخن وخويش. Aha, فددة ينال
ست
ووي قوغمجا ست عالم جي أرى بسخن وخوي مأرس خوي ورجي أنو خوي حمرة زغور نوغش
بسوري باشقم
سوري باشقم
بسوري باشقم
okay
سسي غومتشا شعلم جيا سس خويش
ووي قوغمجا شعلم جاء سبسس خويش
انت
خونشتا
عربج
Arpej, what we did.
only pej.
According to you, what we guchomcha.
انت سسي غومتشا
Albert, whoopsawi'a.
Yeah, I see. When I say can you say for I think Shalgora instead of say Gorum?
You can say that too, yes. So Gura. Yeah. You can say that too. So Gura. They're the same.
Thank you. Okay.
They're the same. Okay, Ola.
ست
Satanai zarji ar شعالم جاء سا مأرس سخويش. أحمد زرجيء شعالم جاء سا ورد جسأنو سخويش. جورج زرجيء شعالم جاء سا بسلنو سخويش. إنال زرجيء بسوري بجخم ساسي قوغمجا تخور people ساسي قوغمجا تخور شعالم جاء سبسس خويش ست ووي قوغمجا شعالم جاء
سسي قرمش عالم جاء لجنو خويقم
لجنو خويقم شحخنش
انت
اوكي عراش ويقورا وويقوغمجا شعالم جاء سا لجنو سخويقم
سالجنو سخويقم. Oh, I should have said it this way. Yes.
سالجنو سخويقم. Okay, خونشتا. زانشاوا.
ست
أولا جاء أبي قغمشة شعالم جاء سلا جنو سخويكم ست وي قغمشة شعالم جاء
ساسي قوغمشا شالم جاء سي جادو سخويش.
سجدو سخويش
Not C.
سجدو سخويش.
It's like I. Okay.
Yeah. يمز
Sit.
وي قغمشة ست شعالم جاء شعالم جاء سجدو سخويش حمرا سلجنو سخويكم حمرا سبس سخويش حمرا سورجس أنو سخويش حمرا سجورجز جازة سبس ثنو سخويش حمرا سمأرس سخويش.
Sorry. عالم. أبي خويش. All of that.
ساسي قوخمشا
ساسيكوخمشا.
شعالم جاء
شعالم جاء. شعالم جاء.
سوري سخويش.
Sorry سخويش. I forgot
Sorry
جاء.
سخويش. I want everything
أنت.
that they said.
أنت.
Oh, I take the easy way out. Okay. خلص. Albert.
Janti.
ست وي قوخمشا شعالم جاء
Sigora Topori Bashri Jaguano Suquesh.
توبري باشري سجقون سخويش بيسبول مخدوارا
Arash.
يا زغوري وتشنو خويش. So Albert said, oh, I think the boy says, I want before he said, I want a ball. Now he says, I want a stick and a ball. And I said, but the word in Circassian for stick, like as kids, when we heard bash, it was like a beating stick. It was a stick to beat you with. That's how I heard bash as a kid. And then, but of course, it's a very generic
You had a rough
word.
childhood.
Yeah, I had a Circassian childhood. So he said, now, look at that, Ahmed, living out on the West Coast, still has that.
This is
Occasion
my
mentality.
grandfather's. My grandfather's bash.
Yeah.
So,
So actually, hold it up for everybody. Do you know what we call that in Circassian?
Oh.
besides bash.
No, it's a very specific type of bash.
Wait, isn't this for flies?
No, that's for walking. Right, Ahmed? That's not for
It's
flying.
well, it's very heavy. I would imagine it's oak and it's shaped like bamboo.
Yep.
And I think in English they would call it a swagger stick. Like you would hold it like this when they would, like the military guys.
Yep.
The Marine
So-
Corps had it too.
Yep. So we would call that shaqwa bash.
Shaqwa. Okay.
Oh, shaqwa.
Shaqwa means to hunt.
Mhm.
Shaqwa bash. So shaqwa bash, it's exactly what you're holding. Okay, it's a hunting stick. It's a hunting stick. It could be used for defensive purposes. Also, if you're going hiking, like when we have a nature preserve right near my house. When my kids and we go hiking with my wife, they pick up a little stick from the ground and they use it like a little hiking stick. That's also shaqwa bash.
Gotcha.
Shanti.
Yes.
Doesn't the Hatiakwa use that in the jug as well? It's called the shaqwa. The stick with the beads on it or something?
The stick with the beads on it is, I think that's hansakwasha.
Oh,
Hansakwasha. I've never seen a regular bash in a dance. I always see hansakwasha. I'm not dancing expert. I'm not a dancer. But if there's something beads, something that shakes like a rattle on it, 90% of the time, as far as I've seen, that's hansakwasha. Hansakwasha, sorry, hansakwasha. Yeah. So, but anyways, when Albert said, I want a ball and a stick, I said, oh, they're going to play baseball or they're going to kill somebody. Okay, Margarita.
C'est gentil.
Sit we gurumcha alam jea.
C'est urumcha shale jea kuzavar siach.
Okay, so now we're going to play a little game. We're actually going to use a game from the original TPRS method before. So TPRS is actually an interesting method. In today's literature, it means it stands for Teaching Proficiency through Reading and Storytelling. But the original TPR was called Total Physical Response. And TPR was originated by John Rassius. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I had the opportunity. I'm a lucky guy. I've met Stephen Krashen. I've emailed with Paul Nation. I've been in a workshop with Blaine Ray, who's the originator of TPRS. And I've been in multiple workshops with John Rassius, who's the originator of TPR. He passed away a few years ago. His daughter still runs the program at Dartmouth University. It's an Ivy League school in New Hampshire. And so we're going to use one of their methods, and we'll see how it kind of goes in this class. Okay, so we'll just try this on for size. So I want everyone to listen to me. I'm going to use English. Satanai said, so I'm not going to say that again because there's too many says in this. Okay, so what did Satanai say? Satanai, the boy says, I want an apple. George, I want to speak. Ahmed, I want to sing. There's a little grammatical thing. So je'en becomes jus'ano. I want to sing. Jus'ano suhwesh. Yinal, sh'alam je'a, sa psa'af suhwesh. The boy says, I want, I want water. Sa psa suhwesh. Ola, sh'alam je'a, silajano suhweqam. The boy says, I don't want to work. Zanshawa, sh'alam je'a, sa jadu suhwesh. I want a cat. Yemiz, sh'alam je'a, psori suhwesh. I want everything. Everything that everyone else said. I'm not going to say everything that everyone else said because it's going to get too grammatically complex for you. Zanshawa, you have a question?
Yeah. So if I were trying to say that he wants like his cat, like I want, you know, like he was saying, I want my cat, it would be C, right?
Sa si jadur sehwesh.
Oh, okay. Sasi jadur sehwesh. Okay.
I want my cat.
Okay. Just curious.
Albert, he says, Shalem je'a top sehwesh. We'll just make it top to make it easy. Margarita, Shalem je'a guzavelwa si'ash or sehwesh? What did you say? Si'ash. Okay. Guzavelwa si'ash. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to start with one of you, and you're going to say Shalem je'a and what you think the boy wants. And then the next person is going to say, so let's say Satanai is number one, and let's say I'm number two. So Satanai is going to say, go ahead, Satanai, start.
Sasi gurumsha sh'alam je'a sa ma'arisa sehwesh.
Okay. Satanai ji'ash sh'alam je'a sa ma'arisa sehwesh. And then let's say now I'm sa, and then I say sasi gurumcha, and then I'll say what I think. Then George is going to go, and George is going to say Satanai ji'ash sh'alam je'a ma'arisa sehwesh. Janti ji'ash sh'alam je'a boom 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 boom. Sasi gurumcha sh'alam je'a, and then he's going to say what he says. And so each one of you is going to go next and next and next and next. and Ola's going to go last so she can repeat it all. I'm just kidding. I know you have a question. And then each one of you is going to go. And then the final person will have to repeat everything that everyone said before them. And then they'll say what they want. And then we'll find a way to flip it so the person who went first has some work to do as well. Okay. Ola, you have a question.
You just answered my question. So I thought it's just the person before, but you're saying everything before.
Everything. So this is not as hard as you think. All right. Don't get intimidated because there's a structure here. And we want you to think about what people are saying, not how to say it. Because the formula here is pretty simple. You're going to say the person's name, Jiash. What did they say? Satane Jiash, Ola Jiash, Ahmed Jiash, Jiash. That person said. So it's a very simple, it's just lots of repetition. Ahmed Jiash, Salam, Salam, Je'a, the boy says, Salam Je'a. Most of you said the boy wants something. So, Sahwish, Sa Zagwar Sahwish, I want something. Sa Warajus Ano Sahwish, Sa Psatlano Sahwish, Sa Lajano Sahwiqam, Sa Ma'arisa Sahwish, Sa Psa Sahwish, Sa Sijadur Sahwish, I want my cat. Sa Psori Sahwish, Sa Top Sahwish, Margarita is the outlier, Sa Guzavelko Siash. Okay, Siash, Sahwiqam, our Siash. So the formula is fairly consistent, but you're going to have to remember, you know all these words. I'm tricking you into thinking in the language because you got to remember what the person says and then put it into words. All right. So did somebody has a question here in the chat? LOL. Okay. So we are going to start with, who wants to go first? No, who wants to go last?
You know,
want to go last?
You already have a volunteer, Inan.
Okay. So I'm going to start. You know what? I usually, just so it's easier for me, I go like on my screen, what I can see. I'm going to start with Margarita.
Okay. So Sesi Oruncha, Shalem Jia, Reservoir CH.
Okay. Albert, Situwi Gurumcha.
Margarita, Shalom. I forgot already.
Okay. Margarita, Jiash.
Yeah.
So repeat. Margarita Jiash.
Yeah, I forgot what she said. Margarita Jiash.
Just repeat after me. Margarita Jiash.
Margarita Jiash.
Shalom Je'a.
Shalom Je'a.
Guzavelwa Yi'ash.
Yeah.
Or Guzavelwa
Yi'ash.
Okay. Sasi Gurumcha. So you're now, so that's what she says. Right. So now you're going to say, so let's say I'm you. All right. I will play the part of Albert. I'm not as good looking or as, world renowned, but I'll play the part of Albert. And I will play your role. So you're going to say, Margarita Jiash Shalom Je'a Sa Guzavelwa Siash. Sa Sigurumcha Shalom Je'a Sa Top Sahwish. Okay, you want to give it a shot?
I'll give it a shot. Margarita Je'a Shalom Buzavogwa Yi'ash. Did I get that right?
It's close enough.
Okay. Sashigora Shalom Top Huesh. Top Jaguanu Huesh.
Top Jaguanu Huesh. Hunch. Okay. So I'm going to piece it back together to clean it up a little bit, and we'll go to Yamiz next. Okay. So Yamiz first. You know what? We'll do this. After each of you go, I'll say it again so that I can clean up any little like Albert, he didn't make any mistakes. He just said it a little bit differently than I'm saying it. So I'll be the consistent voice here. Ola, you have a question?
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I just had a suggestion. Do you want to tell us the way you see us on your screen, and then this way we know who's next?
No.
So you don't have to say it.
No, that's actually part. So part of the way this method works is anticipation. Since you don't know the way that I see you, you don't know when you come.
Oh, right.
If you knew, now here's the thing, if you knew your order, you'd be memorizing, you'd be practicing, you'd be playing this out in your head and not listening.
Yeah.
And you'd be overthinking. So this is actually, I want to stay on this point for a minute. This is actually one of the reasons that we don't advocate memorization in language learning. And it's also one of the reasons why we try to get people away from memorizing grammatical rules or translating in their brains. Okay, because here's the thing. Let's say, Ola, you and I are speaking. Doesn't matter the language. Let's just say that what I'm speaking is a language we both speak, but you're learning that language. So as I'm speaking, what's happening is part of your brain is translating what I'm speaking. Another part of your brain is mapping, not the grammar, but it's mapping the vocabulary to vocabulary that you know in your preferred language. Another part of you is like, oh, he said I walked, but if I'm going to walk, I will put it in the future. So you're thinking about all these things, and I'm already 5 words ahead, and now you're struggling to keep up. And by the time I turn to you to say, what do you think? You're going to say, can you repeat the question? Because there's so much mental bandwidth for you to do all those things. So if you knew, that's hard to train somebody not to do. So if you know the order that you're going in, you're going to do those things. If you don't, you're going to be so paying attention to what people are saying so you can absorb the story, and then you'll be focused on the content, not the actual language. So you guys are in Canada. You're in Canada, right? I'm a ridiculously good skater. I'm a ridiculously good skater. And I only started skating well when I started playing hockey. Because I used to take hockey. That's cool. I used to play deck hockey. I played deck hockey for 8 years of my life. I love deck hockey. And then I started skating thinking I'll learn how to skate so I can play roller hockey or ice hockey. And my skating practice, my skating lessons, I always sucked at it. I was so concentrated on skating well that I overthought it. And then finally somebody put a stick in my hand and said, go get the puck. First of all, the stick gave me a crutch. It literally gave me a crutch so I wouldn't fall. But second of all, because my mind was focused on catching the puck, my legs were just free to figure out naturally how to skate. And I knew that I got it when the first time this happened, it was on rollerblades, by the way. 2 guys fell down and I was skating for the puck. They fell down right in front of me. I jumped up and landed down and kept going. And in my brain, I was like, holy crap, I just jumped and landed and I didn't fall. You know, whereas a couple of weeks ago, I was just happy to stand on my skates. And that's how I got to be a good skater. So this is the version of that. The puck is the story, right? And you're going to jump and you're going to weave and you're going to come in and out because you don't know what's coming at you.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. So I will repeat in between each of you so that the next one of you can it's not the same as throwing you in the pool would be like sending you to Nalchik and saying good luck, suckers, right? Okay, so Margarita Jiash Shalem Jea Sa Guzavela Siash Albert Jiash Shalem Jea Sa top Sahwish Sasigurmcha, and then I would say what I'm going to say. So Yamiz, you're next.
Okay. Margarita Jiash Shalem Jea Guzavela Yiash Albert Jiash Shalem Jea Sa top Yiash Sasi Guramcha Shalem Jea Siana.
Sian, what?
Siana. I guess he's saying he. Oh.
You got to be consistent, buddy. You
see-
said he wants everything.
Okay. Trying to say he wants his mom to make it easier. I don't know.
Okay, you want to say that? Siana Sequish.
Siana Sequish. Squish.
Okay. Now the penalty for changing it at the last minute, you got to say it again.
Okay. Margarita GH عالم جاء غزوة إيش إيشي ألبرت GH عالم جاء سير س توب إيش ساسي غرمشا عالم جاء سيانا ياش
Siana Sequish.
سيانا سخويش
Okay.
سخويش
Margarita Giash Shalom Jea Sa Guzavella Siash. However, Albert Giash Shalom Jea Sa Top Sequish. Yemiz Giash Shalom Jea Sasiana Sequish. Zanshawa. Sit what we gurumcha.
Okay. Margarita GH Shalom GA Saguzvlawa CH. Our Albert GH Shalom GA Satop Sequish. Our Yemiz GH Shalom GA Sasianam Sequish. Our Sasigurumcha Shalom GA Sasijadur Sequish.
Margarita Giash Shalom Jea Saguzavella Siash. Our Albert Giash Shalom Jea Satop Sequish. Yemiz Giash Shalom Jea Sasiana Sequish. Zanshawa Giash Shalom Jea Sasijadur Sequish. Ola. Sit
Margaret.
what we gurumcha. Sit what we gurumcha.
Sasi gurumch ash alam jea l'salajinus sehuekam.
Selajano Sehuekam. Okay. Sit Margarita Albertra Yemizra Zanshawar Jaa.
Okay, Marguerite. Let's start.
Stretch that brain.
Marguerite. I forgot her name now. Margot. Margot. One sec. J-Ash.
G-Ash.
G-Ash.
So time out. So Zanshawa made a small mistake, and I want to make sure that's part of why I'm repeating. So when we says, I says to the guy, when we say that a third person said it in the past, G-Ash. When we say a third person is saying it, Jea. So here, it's exactly Shalom Jea. This is what he's saying. Okay, so Albert said that the boy is saying, Albert Giash, Shalom Jea, Margarita Giash, Yemiz Giash, Zanshawa Giash, Shalom Jea. Okay. George, you have a question?
Yeah, so I actually started to get quite confused. So okay, there are some words that I didn't understand what each person said the boy wanted. Like I think I I think Zanshawa said that the boy he thought the boy said he wanted a cat, I think.
Yeah.
But then
His cat. He wanted his cat.
his cat. But then there are other words like what Yamiz said and what Albert said. I didn't understand what those words were that the boy wanted.
So Yamiz ji'ash
yeah.
Shalem je'a
Uh-huh.
Sasi Anna, my mother.
His mom. Okay, he wants his mom.
Sukwesh.
He wants his mom, yeah.
Albert ji'ash Shalem je'a Sa top sukwesh. I want a ball. Top.
A ball. Okay, a ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? Like there was another person.
Zanshawa. So Yamiz Sasiana Sukwesh. I want my mother.
Okay.
We could also put a little in there, which is what I told Zanshawa to do when he asked the first time. Sasi jadur Sukwesh. And the reason I'm doing that is because at first Zanshawa said, I thought what Zanshawa said was, I want a cat. And then when he says that the boy says, I want my cat, I gave him that to add the emphasis on it. It's almost like saying, it is my cat that I want. But then I didn't know that Yamiz was going to change his answer and have me produce different grammatical structures that basically mean the same thing. So it's grammatically correct. Sasianer Sukwesh. But that would be like, there's a lot of emphasis. It is my mother that I want.
Right. Okay.
You know, we only have one mother, so it would be odd to say that. Like, which mother do you want? Well, I want mine, you know. But, you know, cats, you know, I have a cat. I have multiple cats. We can have multiple cats. We cannot have multiple mothers. So in the point in time when Zanshawa said that, as I clarified it, that's why I gave him that grammatical structure. And then when Yamiz said it, I wasn't thinking about what Yamiz had said. Actually, as it came out of my mouth, I realized I'm probably introducing a little bit of conflict here, but now it's a grammar lesson. So.
Okay.
Everything clear?
Much better. Yeah, thanks. Whoopso.
Whoopso is. Zanshawa, do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just curious. Did I really not say Je'ash? Because like in my head, like I knew that, but I'm just curious if that really didn't come out of my mouth to like see.
Actually, you just did it again. You just said Je'ash, which is incorrect. Je'ash.
That's the okay. Je'ash. Okay.
Shalem Je'a. He is saying Albert Je'ash. Shalem Je'ash. You could say that too, but the structure we're using is Albert said. The boy is saying, I want this. That's us. Blah blah blah. Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So now the real question is, do I go to Ola or do I skip her to mess her up a little bit? Because she's
unfair.
You know what? I'm not gonna punish you that badly. Let's go back to you. I'll start from scratch and I'm gonna normalize between Yamiz and Zanshawa to use a simpler grammatical structure. So it's just easier. Okay. George, you still have a question?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna put my hand down. Okay.
Okay. There. So I'll recap it. Margarita ji'ash Shalem je'a saguzavawasiash. Albert ji'ash Shalem je'a satop sukwesh. Yamiz ji'ash Shalem je'a sa siana sukwesh. Zanshawa ji'ash Shalem je'a sasijadu sukwesh. So I normalized the grammatical structures. Ola. Sitwawi guhamcha.
Sa sigurnsha Shalem je'a. I forgot work.
Silajanu suhwekum.
Silajanu suhwekum.
Okay. So put it all together for me.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Margarita ji'ash Shalem Jea se gozavarwa siash. Awa Albert Giash Shalem Jea se tok sechwish. Yemiz Giash Shalem Jea se siana sechwish. Zenshawa Giash Alem Jea se si jadu sechwish. Awa se si guruncha Shalem lejenu sechwikum.
Giash.
Yeah.
You know what? It still works. It's still grammatically correct. Bravo. Good for you.
Thank
Good
you.
for you.
So
Word order is very flexible in Circassian, even more flexible than in the Russian language. So that's correct too. Shalem Jea Mir Shaler Jiash. You can Shalem Jiash. So it's fine.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fine. Okay.
Got it.
So Margarita Jiash Shalem Jea sa Guzavasiash. Albert Jiash Shalem Jea sa Top Sechwish. Yemiz Jiash Shalem Jea sa Siana Sechwish. Zanshawa Jiash Shalem Jea sa si Jadu Sechwish. Ola Jiash Shalem Jea sa Lajano Sechwikum. Ahmed.
Sit, Janti.
Sit what we go.
This is going to test my memory, but I'll try. Margarita Jiash Adam Jea sa Kuzova Siash. Our Albert was Albert next?
Yeah.
Albert Jiash Slalom Jea Top Sechwish. Our Yemiz Jiash Slalom Jiar Siana Sechwish. Our Ola Jiash Slalom Jea Lajano Kwekum. Our Zanshawa Jiash Slalom Jea Si Jadur Sechwish. Sasigormcha Slalar Jiar Warad Kwish. No, that's wrong.
Just Enosuquish.
So yeah, Warad just Kwish.
Yeah.
That's really good, though. That's really good. And it's actually a little bit easier for me because I can follow the pattern that you guys appear on my screen. You guys probably got to go like here, 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 here. So that was very good. That was very good. Okay. Margarita Jiash Shalem Jea sa Guzavasiash. Albert Jiash Shalem Jea sa Top Sechwish. Yemiz Jiash Shalem Jea sa Siana Sechwish. Zanshawa Jiash Shalem Jea sa si Jadu Sechwish. Ola Jiash Shalem Jea sa Silajano Sechwikum. Ahmed Jiash Shalem Jea sa Warad Jis'anu Shalem Jea sa Warad Jis'anu Sechwish. Okay. Satanai. I could almost feel like I could almost see like everyone I choose, like a shade of your skin drops because you know there's a little bit more piling up on you.
You got this tonight. Go.
Oh boy. Okay. Margarita Jiash Shalem Jea sa Guzavawa Siash. Awa Albert Jiash Shalem Jea sa Top Sechwish. Awa Yemez Jiash Shalem Jea sa Siana Sechwish. Awa Zanshawa Jiash Shalem Jea sa si Jadur Sechwish. Awa Ola Jiash Shalem Jea sa Lajanu Sechwikum. Awa Ahmed Jiash Shalem Jea sa Warad Jis'anu Sechwish. Sa si Gurumcha Shalem Jea sa Ma'arisa Sechwish.
Okay, very good. Very, very good. Very good. Now try it without your notes.
No. Not for real?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you.
No,
Okay.
okay.
If you want my help, just go like this. That way I know when it's like spotting, you're weightlifting, you know, if you need help, go like this and I'll jump in. And if I don't see you go like this, I'll just let you figure it out. Okay.
Margarita GH, Alem GA, Saguzavawa CH. Albert GH, Alem GA, Sa Top Sahwesh. Awa Yamiz GH, Alem GA, Sa Siana Sahwesh. Awa Zinshagwa GH, Alem GA, Sa Sijadur Sahwesh. Awa علا GH عالم GA سا لجنو سخويقم أوا أحمد GH عالم GA سا ورد جسأنو سخويش سا سي قوغمشا عالم GA سا مأرسا سخويش.
You did even better without the notes. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. All right. Wow. Okay. So, Margarita GH, Alem GA, Sabuzavela CH. Albert GH, Alem GA, Satop Sahwish. Yemiz GH, Alem GA, Sasiana Sahwish. Zanshawa GH, Alem GA, سسي جدو سخويش أولا جي آش شعالم جاء سا لجنو سخويقم أحمد جي آش شعالم جاء سا ورد جسأنو سخويش أوا ستناي جي آش شعالم جاء سا مأرس سخويش جورج
جنتي
ستوي قوغمجا
سسي قوغمجا عالم جاء عرب سشن وخيش.
Okay. Awa.
Awa يمز يجوهمجا عب جاء يانا خويش.
ها
Albert يجوهمجا عجم جاء توب خويش. Margarita يجوهمجا عجم جاء ست خويش.
Guzavelwa Yeash.
Kozavelwa
Yeash.
Yeash. Kozavelwa Yeash. Sit Kozavelwa.
Guzavelwa. Remember problem.
Oh, right. Okay. Kozavelwa. Kozavelwa Yeash. Satanai. Satanai. Arqam.
Ma'arisa Khwesh.
مأرسة ستناي يجوهمجا عجم جاء مأرسة خويش.
Okay. Did you cover everyone? Yeah, you got everyone, right?
I think so, yeah. So
Okay.
far, yeah. And
All right.
myself too.
So now it's Yunal's turn. So I'll cap it all for him and we'll see how this goes. So Margarita GH, Shalem GA, Guzavela CH. Albert GH, Shalem GA, Sa Top Sahwish. Yemiz GH, Shalem GA, Sasiana Sahwish. Zanshawa GH, Shalem GA, Sasi Jadu Sahwish. Ola jiash, shalam jea, sa sadajano suhuikum. Ahmad jiash, shalam jea, sa ورد جسأنو سخويش. ستناي jiash, shalam jea, sa مأرس سخويش. جورج jiash, shalam jea, sa بسلانو سخويش. Inal, ستو ويقوغمشا.
سسي هغمشا شعلم جي سبس سخويش.
Awa.
Awa, I'm gonna try to introduce a new word. Awa Margarita GH, شعلم جي سغوزفغو CH. Itana Albert GH, شعلم جي س توب سخويش. توب خمرة توب.
توب.
توب. س توب سخويش. إتانا يمس GH شعلم جي سي أنا سخويش. إتانا زنشاوة GH شعلم جي سي جدو سخويش. إتانا أولا GH شعلم جي س لجنو سخويقم. إتانا أحمد GH شعلم جي ورج سنة سخويش. إتانا ستني GH عالم جي سم رسا سخويش. إتانا جورج جي شعلم GH شعلم جي سب سلنا سخويش. عري راش.
What do you guys think of this game?
It's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
There's other versions of this. The most fun version of it is I woke up this morning and then the first person, I woke up this morning and I got out of bed. And the second person says, I woke up this morning and I got out of bed and I stretched. And the next person, I woke up this morning and I got out of bed and I stretched and I washed my face. And we go on and on and on. That's a little bit more advanced because you need to know some phrases and stuff. And this one, you guys, the boy wants, right? I want. So it's just kind of one thing, but you can't wake up and want everything, right? You're going to wake up, you're going to get out of the bed. You might make your bed, you might stretch, you might wash, that's just one example, I went shopping and I bought this and I bought that. So there's simpler ways to do it, but I think one of you put it into the chat. This is the linking game. So we link everything together. So Margarita, do you feel cheated that you went first? Would you like to try to recap?
I would, yes, please.
Go for it. Do you want me to recap it for you or do you want to just go?
I'll just go. Okay, so Albert GH Shalem GA c'est top سخوش يمز GH Shalem GA si Anna سخوش. I'm gonna go in the order that I see people.
That's fine.
Inal GH Shalem GA se psishuish. George CH Shalem GA se Psatlano sehuish. Okay. Who's next? Ola GH Shalem GA se lejanu sehwetam. Satanai GH Shalem GA se Marissa Sihwesh. Ahmad GH Shalem GA se Wared what was it?
Jis'anu
Sehwesh. Okay. Zanshawa GH Shalem GA se Sijedur Sehwesh. Who did I not cover?
I think you got everyone.
All right.
All right.
Okay. سيسي
Oi, Gurumja.
سيسي قرمشام شالم شالم سي شالم جاء سي كوزافاغا سي اش.
Bravo.
That was the hardest one somehow.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Our Margarita. Сообща си аш. У меня вопрос. Сообща си аш.
Okay.
Сит шоги жиара.
Shogi ji ara
What?
Ma'arisa Sahwish.
Ma'arisa sukhwesh. Khonchta. Okay. Satanai.
انت
عالم زغور جاء. عالم زغور جاء. ست عالم جيرة.
سا سيغورم تشاش عالم جاء سا مأرسا سخوش.
خط جاء سم أرسا سخويش.
عالم جاء.
عالم جاءش.
جاءش.
ست عالر خوير.
عالم مأرسا يخوي.
عالر مأرسا خويش.
خويش.
عالر و ست جبرة. ست جبرة.
ساش عالم سيجبرة.
سجزوء.
سجزوءش عالم مأرسا يخويش.
وجبوء شعلر مأرسا خويش. شعلر مأرسا خويش. So let me think. What do I want? Achsha. I'll say money. Okay. So سجزوء سسيغوخمشا عالم جاء سأخشى سخويش. سأخشى سخويش. ستناي.
سجزوء ساسي غورمشاش عالم مأرسا يخويش.
عالر مأرسا خويش.
عالر مأرسا خويش.
أحمد.
Sit Jati.
خط جيرة شعالر مأرسا خوير.
Sasigorumcha Satanai Jeash Salam Alasakwish.
ست جسرة.
Wa Jeb Shop Shajash. Para. Aksha. Oh, okay. Sasigorumcha Wa Jiash Salar Aksha Kwish.
سجزوء شعالر أخشى خويش. ستناي جياش شعالم جاء س مأرسا سخويش.
Yeah.
جورج.
جانتي.
ست أحمد جيرة.
Ahmed Jea. No, Ahmedem Jea. Is that?
Ahmed Jea.
Oh, because it's not the okay. Ahmed Jea. Ahmed Jea. Shajem. Shajer. Arisa Huish.
Pej. Ahmed جاء شعالر مأرسا خويش. وست جبروا.
Ça, ça, je zoa, عالم جاء ar سشن وخويش.
Inal.
ست
Chad G-ara. Shaler top where.
ألبرت جاء
Albert G-a. What's it Jipara?
س جزوة عالم جاء سبس سخويش
Sit shaler where.
بس
Pse.
Where.
Chat where shaler. Chat where pse.
عالم
Shaler. Zanshawa.
Sit.
Wa Jipara. Shala. Ha-hwesh. Do you know what's ha?
Oh, dog.
Wa Jipara. Shalam Jea. Sa ha sahwesh.
Hawa. Sa jizo sa segugumcha shalom jea sa se jadur sequesh.
Pej. Wa Jipar. Shalam Jea. Sasi Jadur sahwesh. Margarita.
The Janti.
Sitsa Jisr. Sitsa Jisra.
Je sera wajipara no, that's the question
Jiboha.
from okay. Wajiboha Chef, what did you say?
Dingy.
Oh, okay.
Arsha.
What Arsha Wahuish
Sa Jisash. Sa Jisash. Shalem Jea. Sa Arsha Suhwish.
Sorry. Okay. Wa Jiboa Shalem Jea Sa Arsha Suhwish.
Yemiz.
Sit.
Margarita Giara. Shalem Jea. Sa Arsha Suhwish.
Hawa.
Giara Podo.
Wa jiash shalam jea achsha sikhwash.
Sa
Sikhwish.
Jisash. Sa Jisash. Wa Jipash.
Okay.
Arguaro Qaja'a.
Sit.
Arguaro Qaja'a.
Say it
Arguaro.
again.
Tell me again.
Tell me again. Wa jiboa shalam jea achsha sikhwash.
Suhwish. Hola.
Sorry, Sejanti.
What's it Jipara?
Sa Zijua Shalem Jea Deluch Suhwish.
Sitwhere?
Deluch.
Delch? Brother?
Yeah, is that right?
So a boy would not have a delch. A
Oh,
boy
true.
would have
It's
a
for a girl.
wash.
Yeah. Hush.
Arguaro Qaja'a.
Sa Zijua. Was it
Jizo'a.
Jizoa? Sa Jizoa Shalem Jea Hush Sehwish.
Saqwash Suhwish. Albert.
Janti.
Chad Ji'ara. Shalem Jea. Saqwash Suhwish. Chad Ji'ara Podo.
Ola, I just asked.
Ola Ji'ash Apodo. What's it Jipara?
So je zal Shala Jea Sa top je gonu su quiz.
Sa topum sa jawano sa quiz. Consta. I think this has been a pretty interesting class. Let's kind of wrap it there because I think we've covered a lot of ground with this, and I'm not ready to, in the 5 minutes remaining, to take you into the next slide here. So yeah, so we'll leave it there. So let's take it off screen share. Is this different, more fun, pain in the butt? What are you guys thinking about this little linking game that we played?
It's different and it's good practice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
too,
I think it's.
Go ahead, you
No, go ahead.
know. All right. I was gonna say, like, just the way things normally work when you're learning. If it's too easy, it's boring. You don't learn. If it's too hard, you become uninterested. And I think it's like, for me, it's at the right level where it's challenging. And I've been thinking for the last 90 minutes. And so I feel like I learned a lot during this class, and I think it was good.
Yeah, I think it was more of the same for myself. It's very good for practice. I would say, I wouldn't have this every lesson.
No. This
But
might be once.
from time to time, once we gathered some base of knowledge to practice it all out, have a session like that, it would be perfect.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll do this every now and again. It just kind of came into my head today. So we'll see how tomorrow's class goes into it. It's funny because last week I did with you guys the 3 versions, right? We did a story, and then we did a simple version of TPRS, and we did a standard version of TPRS, and you guys liked the standard version of TPRS. The other class, they loved the story. They were like, this is what we want to do all the time from now on. I'm like, all right, we're not going to do anything all the time, but it was so interesting because there was 3 options, and I totally thought most of you would have gone for the simpler one, and you guys went for the more complex version of TPRS, which surprised me, and they went for the stories, which surprised me even more. So it's good feedback for how we continue to refine the course. All right, we're about to close down. I know you're not going to disappoint. Any questions before we wrap up the class today?
I'm afraid this time I'm going to disappoint.
Your brain's empty from all the. So that's what I got to do. If I don't want questions, I just got to like push you guys a little bit past your limits, right? Yeah.
I have a question, John T.
What's up?
I was wondering, I don't know how much you're familiar with it, but I was curious with the Shikwabza, right? Isn't that what it's called? The hunting language?
Shakwabza, I think. Shakwabza.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious just like how like different of words or like whatnot that is from like actual like Adagabza.
So I've heard about these things. I don't have personal insights. I've heard about these things. I've heard the word is hunting language, right? I've also heard that there's also like tzachobzibza, right? Women's language. There's definitely sabiyibza, children's language. I don't think that these are necessarily separate. I think this is just probably specialized vocabulary for certain things that are like, imagine we have this word scientific vocabulary, right? Thermoreaction. It's not a word you're going to find in a dictionary. Well, it's not a word you're going to find in a textbook because it's a very specialized word, right? Or if you're a computer programmer, a compiler. It's not a word you're going to see in a textbook because it's a very specialized word. It's a technology word, right? My suspicion, knowing what I know about Circassian, it's not that these are like different sub-languages. It's that these are specialized vocabulary and perhaps some specialized phraseology. So for example, if you're in the music industry, we used to say you cut a record because back in the day, you'd actually cut grooves in the record. These days we say you press a CD because they're physically pressed because they're plastic and metal. I'm not talking about burning a CD, right? So these are, or if you work in computers, you say you burn a CD. So to burn, that's a very specialized use of the word to burn, right? It's not like you're burning wood. My suspicion is that these ibzas, these specialized bzas, they're not like separate languages. They're just specialized vocabulary and phrases that are specific to that domain of life.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Now, the
Cool.
flip side of it is, in most dictionaries of Circassian, you very rarely see more than 30, 32, 33,000 words. There's a dictionary that just got produced that says they have 65,000 words. I don't, now it all depends on how you define a word. Like, for example, Jazoa is a word, Jaboa is a word, right? Jea, jiash, these are all words. But the way that Circassian dictionaries are typically constructed, we usually only count what we call the word stem or word roots or lemma roots. These are linguistic terms. So we typically don't put all those different complexities in there. So in other words, we wouldn't have in a Circassian dictionary went, we have go, all right? What that means to me is when I've looked at Circassian dictionaries, I see lots of still very specialized vocabulary that's in them. And so, for example, I was reading a word entry to my dad a few weeks ago. I was like, what the heck is this? Without even thinking about it, goes, oh, that's a leather strap that goes underneath an ox cart that's used to carry hay from the field to the market. But that's not to be confused with a very similar leather strap that's only used on a donkey cart that's used to transport people. Completely different thing. Don't even think, I mean, they're still cut the same way, but they go on different, and yes, the carts are identical, but one is only used for donkeys and one is only used for ox. And I was like, how the hell do you know all these things, you know? So even in these dictionaries, there still is a lot of specialized vocabulary. A lot of that vocabulary is dying out. I think there's probably still a lot of people who don't know, or I would imagine a lot of this is dead. My dad was telling me there was specialized vocabulary for collecting cow excrement and then turning it into fuel, right? Treating it, composting it, turning it into bricks for fuel. And there was specialized vocabulary and specialized verbs for taking cow dung and turning it into bricks that were used not for fuel, but that were used for the construction of homes, right? Now, neither of those processes are unique to Circassians, right? But the two use cases, even though it's the same material and the same output, we had specialized language for it. In fact, my dad even told me there was a word for the youngest born child in the family whose job it was to step on that stuff with his bare feet. There's a specialized word for that even. So these words aren't going out of our vocabulary. And there might be a part of us who feels sad that we're losing these words. But on the other hand, there's brand new words that are coming into our vocabulary, modern words that our grandfathers never would have heard. Our grandfathers probably could not imagine a reality where the youngest child in the family did not step on the cow poop to make fuel or to make bricks. And we can't imagine that today, just like they can't imagine a mobile telephone or the internet. And, you know, but that's part of our fabric of reality. That's how language works. But my point is, I'm pretty much convinced that most native speakers of Circassian, they probably don't really have a working vocabulary much larger than about 10,000 words. Just because the way that our dictionaries are structured, because of the way that our language is structured, like you guys have seen me, like mafog, right? Mafa is fire, gua is cart, mafog is train, it's a fire cart. I'm pretty sure that you probably don't need more than maybe even 8,000 words to be able to speak at a fluent level in Circassian, which is a lot different than a lot of other standard languages out there. So I wouldn't get so caught up on Shakwebza or on Tsahubzibza or any of these other languages, because even if you go to Nalchik, I would be very surprised if any people of our generation or even of my dad's generation remembered or used any of these words.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I was really curious about those because I've never heard more information about them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyone else?
I just want to say that I think fire cart sounds so much better than train.
Fire cart. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it is. Mafog.
It is true.
So I'm going to end the class. Thanks, everyone. And I'm going to tell you guys something off the record.